Hey, welcome! Today we're doing more than just learning some new words. We're actually building a toolkit, a really specific set of words that are designed to level up how you think, how you write, and how you speak, and really take your expression to the absolute highest level.
So, let's start with this really powerful idea from the philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein. Think about it for a second. Have you ever just struggled to get an idea or a feeling out perfectly? Wittgenstein's whole point is that the words we have don't just, put labels on things, they actually define the boundaries of our world. So the more words you command, the richer and more detailed your world becomes.
Okay, so how do we make that practical? Well, in academic terms, you might call that peak of expressive skill level 9. It's that top tier where your language isn't just correct, it's precise, it's powerful, and it's persuasive. And that is the challenge we are tackling today. And to get there, you're going to need the right tools. And that's exactly what this is, a toolkit of words.
This awesome toolkit comes from the Archer Academy. They curated 100 words specifically to elevate expression. Now, we're not going to cover all of them, but we are going to run 2 little masterclasses on how to use them with precision. First up, let's see how we can describe people with way more accuracy.
Right, Masterclass 1. Instead of just saying someone is nice or mean, let's get specific. Let's look at a few words that can bring characters to life with some pretty stunning accuracy.
First up, amiable. This is such a great step up from just friendly. It suggests a real, genuine, easygoing warmth. For instance, an amiable fellow, Neil got along with just about everyone. You can instantly picture someone who is just effortlessly pleasant to be around, right?
Okay, now for a complete contrast. Taciturn. This isn't just quiet. It implies someone makes a deliberate choice not to talk much. And look at how the example sentence uses that contrast. Though Magda never seems to stop talking, her brother is quite taciturn. Pitting those two characters against each other makes the meaning crystal clear.
Next, a more complex, kind of negative trait, haughty. Someone who is haughty isn't just proud. They look down on other people with disdain. For example, the superstar's haughty dismissal of her co-stars will backfire on her someday. See? It's a word just packed with attitude.
And finally, a noun, a sycophant. This isn't just a flatterer, it's someone who flatters a powerful person specifically for their own personal gain. The example is perfect. Some see the people in the cabinet as the Prime Minister's closest advisors, but others see them as sycophants. It's a very specific and pretty critical label.
Okay, so we've got describing people with precision down. Now let's move to our next masterclass and see how this all builds. Now we're looking at words that help you construct and critique arguments with that very same level of skill.
Let's start with a really foundational word, coherent. If an argument isn't coherent, it just falls apart. It means all the pieces fit together logically. Listen to this sentence. William could not figure out what Harold had seen because he was too distraught to deliver a coherent statement. Yeah, without coherence, all you have is noise.
Now for incisive. Think of an incisive comment like a sharp knife that just cuts right through all the confusion. It gets to the heart of the matter. For instance, the discussion wasn't going anywhere until her incisive comment allowed everyone to see what the true issues were. It's basically the polar opposite of waffling.
An argument can be coherent and incisive, but is it eloquent? This word describes language that has a real emotional impact. It's articulate and it's moving. Like in this example, the best man gave such an eloquent speech that most guests were crying. See, eloquence is about power, not just logic.
And finally, a really powerful verb for taking apart an argument, to repudiate. This is so much stronger than just disagreeing. It means to reject something forcefully. For example, Tom made a strong case for an extension of his curfew, but his mother repudiated it with a few biting words. It's a true verb of intellectual combat.
So we have this amazing toolkit. But like any powerful piece of equipment, it comes with a user manual and a really important warning. Because using these words is one thing. Using them correctly is everything.
So what do professional examiners say about this? Well, this report from OCR makes the difference crystal clear. On the right, less successful candidates. What did they do? They used subject terminology inaccurately. That's the trap. That is exactly what we need to avoid.
The report really just puts it bluntly. The danger isn't a lack of ambition, it's misplaced ambition. I'm quoting directly here. Candidates use ambitious words which do not mean what the candidate thinks they mean. So basically, using a big word incorrectly is so much worse than using a simple word correctly.
So the crucial point, the main takeaway is this. Precision beats ambition every single time. It is so much better to be clear and correct with simple language than to be clumsy and incorrect with complex language. You've got to master the word before you use it.
Okay, with that crucial warning in mind, let's frame the journey ahead. And we can actually do it using two fantastic words from our list that perfectly describe the path from beginner to expert.
First, nadir, the lowest point of something. For example, my day was boring, but the nadir came when my new car was stolen. For our journey, we can think of the nadir as the starting line. You know that feeling of just not having the right words to say exactly what you mean?
And the goal? The zenith, the highest, the culminating point. As in, I was too nice to tell Emily that she had reached the absolute zenith of her career with that one top 10 hit of hers. For us, the zenith is that peak of expressive skill, where your command of language is so precise that you can share complex ideas with total clarity and power. So as we wrap up, just remember this. We haven't just looked at a list of words to memorize. We've explored a toolkit for building a more detailed, a more precise, and a more powerful way of seeing and describing the world. The goal isn't just memorization, it's true mastery.
And that brings us right back to where we started. The limits of your language are the limits of your world. You've now seen the tools that can expand those limits, so the only question left is, what new worlds will you build?